fun yet? I am. We're on a roll today, ladies and gentlemen. We are on a roll today. Oh, and I forgot, by the way, Sandra from Michigan, this is for you. Let's give it up for Sandra, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Come on now. You know what she did? Come on now. Let me hear some more of this. Come on now. That's what we're talking about. You listening to this, Sandra? It's all for you, girl. Fantastic job, and I mean fantastic job. First of all, you had the wherewithal to take a walk on the wild side. You had the wherewithal to go outside of standard convention. You had the wherewithal to take action proactively on your own behalf through a total stranger who told you to take hundreds of dollars of nutritional supplements, and you did on faith. And that just gives me a warm and fuzzy feeling all over. This is how we roll, folks. I tell you, don't I tell you, that we lean on results? Well, guess what? We do. And this is a fantastic thing. Going from Michigan to Texas now, she's got a tough act to follow. Hey, Sandra, thanks for waiting. Thanks for the phone call. You are live. Hello, Sandra. Come on in, Sandra. Where'd she go? Well, maybe I don't know where Sandra is. We'll come back to Sandra in just a second. Going to go to Gottfried now. Hey, Gottfried's calling back from Germany. Achtung, Gottfried. Thank you for calling back. Achtung, how's it going out there?
Thank you very much. Thank you. We got the email.
Go good.
And we start working on it. We try to download all the recipes of the products you mentioned.
Very good.
And by next week, we go to the analysis company and we'll get the certificate for the custom.
Yeah. And
everything will be done. And I'll report back to you accordingly.
All right, Gottfried, I appreciate your persistence. I appreciate your work. I'm getting even a more warm and tingly feeling now. Ooh, boy, the game is afoot here, baby. The game is
We'll work it out. Don't worry at all, okay?
All right, buddy.
And secondly, my eye problem.
Yeah, what's the eye problem?
It's not because I've been taking the product, but I don't take, I've been taking glucogen.
Yep.
And all these things, that the eye is not, I'm not seeing any beneficial result as yet.
Okay, so what are the eye symptoms that you're experiencing on a day-to-day basis? What is it? How does your eye show up on a day-to-day basis symptomatically?
On the day-to-day basis, I can see on the right eye because of the surgery I told you from the MDs.
Yep.
And I've had them out because of that.
Yeah.
And then on the left eye, I can see only light, but not the images.
Now, and what, I mean, have they given it a name? Is it retinal detachment? Is it retinitis pigmentosa? Is it macular degeneration? What is it?
They said it's glaucoma and retinopathy.
Yeah, glaucoma and retinopathy. And how much selenium are you doing every day, Gottfried?
15.
Okay, so 5, 5, and 5. And are you doing those between a meal or with a meal?
Sometime on empty stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Sometime on empty stomach.
Yeah, and you're doing the Ultimate Daily capsules as well?
That's all. I take 9 of those. Okay,
great. And how do those go down, by the way? How easy is it for you to get the Ultimate Dailies down?
Ultimate Daily is very difficult. I do it.
Yeah, it's difficult for everybody. One of the tricks, and I can't remember if I told you this because, forgive me, I speak to so many people. But if you put the Ultimate Daily capsules into a freezer, you freeze them, they tend to go down a little bit easier. I had one person tell me that they would get the Ultimate Daily capsules, they'd freeze them, and then they'd rub them in a stick of butter and get butter all around it, and then they'd go down really easy. And I thought that was brilliant. So there's a lot of ways to skin that cat.
I'll try that.
All right, yeah, try that. Now, I'm going to tell you why that's difficult to swallow, and then I'm going to give you a heads up on something that you can do in order to try to up the ante with your eye health, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I don't know if you've ever had the experience with conventional vitamins, but when I had a private practice in Massachusetts, I'll never forget this, and I love telling this story. I was talking to a guy who came in to see me, I think about Lyme disease or arthritis or whatever, and we got into the whole conversation about vitamin quality control because it always comes up and people want to know what I think about which are the best vitamins, right? So I was telling him the ins and outs of the vitamin manufacturing industry, and he said, that's funny that you should say that, because there's just some vitamins, because of the way that they're made, that it's really, really difficult for your body to digest them, just let alone digest them. And that's not even considering what's in the vitamins or how effective or what the recipe of the vitamins is. Just for your stomach to digest it, it's really difficult. Now, the biggest selling vitamin, well, I don't know if it's the biggest selling vitamin, but the vitamin I think that's advertised the most here in the United States is a vitamin line called Centrum. Centrum. And they have a product for the elderly that's called Centrum Silver. It's a formulation specifically put together for the elderly. Now, they do. All right. So the Centrum Silver capsule looks a lot like the Ultimate Daily capsule. It's about the same size and the same shape and even the same color, but a Centrum Silver has a shiny shellac coating on the outside of it. It's a shiny shellac coating on the outside of it, and when you pop a big Centrum Silver in your mouth, the shiny shellac coating on it makes it go down your throat lickety-split. I mean, it's not a problem at all to swallow one of those babies because of the shiny coating on the outside of it. Only problem is that shiny shellac coating is really difficult for your stomach acid to burn through, and most elderly people don't have enough stomach acid in their stomach anyway. So, long story short, my patient in Massachusetts started cracking up when I was telling him this story, and I said, what the heck is so funny about vitamin quality control? And he said, well, you're not going to believe it, but I have a brother-in-law in Florida who has a porta potty business. And, it's those portable toilets that you take to weddings and to outdoor events and to parks and things, right? And to people's houses when there's construction. And I said, yeah. I said, well, what's so funny about that? He said, well, the nickname for the porta potties in Florida is vitamin cabinets. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, well, most of the people in Florida are elderly and retired, and everybody's taken a Centrum Silver. So when we go, or when his brother-in-law would go to collect the porta potty and empty it, he said they're loaded with vitamins.
Oh, my God.
I said, how do you know they're vitamins and not drugs? He said, because they scooped them out and they could still read Centrum Silver on the capsule.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so they passed right through and they pooped them out, completely undigested. And, that's just stupid, right? But, you don't know what you don't know. And this is what happens here all around the world. Now, the reason that I went on and on about this is because Dr. Wallach's Ultimate Daily Capsule, that stuff was formulated at an alternative cancer treatment clinic in Tijuana that Dr. Wallach worked at with another doctor named Don Spock. Dr. Don Spock and Dr. Wallach worked together at an alternative cancer treatment center in Tijuana, Mexico, because, of course, you can't treat cancer with anything but drugs or chemo inside the United States. So to do any type of real cancer treatment, you have to go outside the border, and that's what they did. So this is a very smart formulation, and it is designed to support and promote the structure and function of the circulatory system, and it doesn't have a shellac coating on it for a reason. Because it doesn't have a shiny shellac hard coating on the outside of it, it's hard to swallow, but it's easy to digest.
Oh, wow.
And this, all right, and there's a method to the madness here, and this is why I love Dr. Wallach so much, because his therapeutics he's so far ahead of the curve in everything that he thinks up with all of the supplements. I mean, it's remarkable. And most people think, oh, that Ultimate Daily, it's so hard to swallow, and, it must have been an afterthought. It must have been an inferior product. I don't even know why they sell it anymore. Well, listen, it's hard to swallow because it's easy to digest.
Yeah, Doc, you know what? Anytime I wee, I can smell this oatmeal daily tablet in my wee.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. And so you want your urine to look pale yellow. Pale yellow. Does it look pale yellow or does it look neon bright yellow when you pee?
I can't see because I can't see at the moment. But
oh, well, yeah, I should have known that. You're going to have someone look at it. If it's a pale straw yellow, you're good to go. If it's a bright neon yellow, your body's still having a hard time assimilating it. And why does the body have a hard time assimilating it, right? It's because of decades of destruction to the intestinal villi. So the only thing that I've ever seen speed up the resolution of an eye condition like this is a diet that's extremely high in antioxidants. So have your wife or even you, if you can do the research on the internet, get a list of foods that are high in ORAC value, like green tea, for example, and red wine. Okay, so
cocoa longevity, is this okay too?
Yeah, it's okay. The longevity product that has the highest ORAC is the Triple Treat chocolate. Okay. But you pay through the nose to get that stuff shipped in the summer because they have to ship it refrigerated, or by the time it gets to you, it's like chocolate soup, right? Yeah. So now, counting ORAC points is kind of sort of like counting calories. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. But here's where I want you to put your time and your energy, for the next couple of weeks, man.
Okay.
All right. I want you to figure out what 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants look like, and make sure you're swallowing 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day through a combination of your nutritional supplements, food, and drink. Your target is 100,000 ORAC a day. Check it out. Dial it in. Give it 2 weeks and call me back. I'm very excited about what you're doing over there in Germany, Gottfried. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're international. MISSIPPI. That's MISSIPPI. Mississippi. That's where we're going next to talk to Jay. Hey, Jay, thanks for the phone call. You are live. Hello, Jay. I can hear you in the background. Are you there?
I'm working on it.
That's right, buddy. MISSISSIPPI, Mississippi. Always had a good time when I've been down there in Mississippi. You must be boiling up, though, man, right now. How hot is it down there?
It's hot. It's at least 150 in the house here, but it's going to be about 80, 90 degrees out there.
Yeah, man. That is hot, brother. That is really hot. How can I help you?
You might not want to just call my sister. I had her on the line. She lives over in Euless, Texas.
Yep.
And the doctor told her she had a pinched nerve in her back, and they wanted her to do surgery on her back. I told her, no, don't do it.
Well, that's an interesting thing to talk about, right? Because number one, when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And because the MDs always, that's all they know is drugs and surgery, that's what they're going to tell you to do because that's all that they know. Now, some of them are a little scurrilous about it, and they know that it's not going to work, but, it's what they do, and it's the end of the month. It's the last half of the month, and they have quotas to fill at the hospital. Did you know that? The worst time to visit an MD is after the 15th of the month, because they have quotas to fill at the hospital, and they have to order so many, ultrasounds, so many x-rays, admit so many people to the hospital every month in order for them to be able to admit patients to the hospital. So towards the end of the month, even if you don't need that ultrasound, even if you don't need that CT scan, even if you don't need the minor surgery procedure, the MD is going to order it because, well, what the heck, ultimately you're going to need it, and I got to fulfill my quota, and it's all for the greater good, and so pony up and go to the hospital. But, so it gets a little dicey here just from a dollars and cents business point of view, number one. Number two, this is not a life-threatening situation, right? So surgery is not mandated and warranted immediately. She's not going to die if she doesn't have the surgery. And number 3, you can never unsurgery something. You can never unsurgery something, right? So it's always better to try to fix it without surgery because, again, worst case scenario, let's say we intervene with a medical nutrition program and you can enroll her in doing it and she's all on board and life is good and she does everything and it doesn't work. The nerve is still pinched and the spine is still funky and, surgery is absolutely positively necessary because sometimes it is. Most of the time it's not. But I'm just being the devil's advocate here, right? So let's say that surgery absolutely positively is the only way she's going to get over this particular trauma to her spine. Well, it's a million times easier, better, and safer to go into surgery with a body that's been nutrified and strengthened with medical nutrition than to go into surgery with a body that's weak. So either way, she can't lose by doing a medical nutrition program for a non-life-threatening medical condition, right? Now, has she seen a chiropractor? I mean, what's her feelings on chiropractors? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, no, she's all right with chiropractors.
And has she consulted a chiropractor for this particular condition?
I don't think so. She just went to the doctor, and he told her you have a pinched nerve in your back, and that's why your ankle's in the shape it's in.
Yeah, okay. So a good chiropractor, and that's we could have probably a week-long conversation about how to tell a good chiropractor from a bad chiropractor, or a good lawyer from a bad lawyer, or a good plumber from a bad plumber, or whatever, right? But you got to find a good chiropractor. That's what I would do. And the medical nutrition intervention here, what's her body weight? Do you know?
She weighs, I'd say right at probably 180, 190.
Okay, so I would do 2 healthy bone and joint packs and 4 bottles of selenium a month. 2 healthy bone and joint packs and 4 bottles of selenium a month, plus eliminate the 10 bad foods. Get on board with a chiropractor and see what they can do. And also, here's a little heads up, some common sense advice. Whenever you bring your body to any medical professional, I don't care if it's the Surgeon General of the United States or a shaman in a rainforest in Brazil, you have to demand, and I mean demand, a timetable inside of which you're going to work to see improvement. Well, hey, Doc, how long is it going to take? It's going to take 1 visit, 3 visits, 10 visits, a month, a year? How long am I going to need to do this before I get results? So make sure she has the chiropractor give her a timetable inside of which to work with me for this condition in 90 days. Do the supplements and the diet for 90 days. Keep your fingers crossed. Let's let the healing begin. Thanks for your support, Jay. I appreciate everything that you do down there in MISSISSIPPI. Man, oh man, after that testimonial, I want to bang on the drum all day, too. But we can't. We got work to do. We're going to Montana right now to talk to Elaine. Hey, Elaine. Thanks for calling. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. I spoke with you on Monday, and we had Amanda on the line, and she had that bladder condition, IT, and you set her up on a wonderful program, and she had a terrible case of candida from taking antibiotics for 3 years. Now, we only had one more question. It's quick. She's also taking antifungal, I guess, for the candida, and she got on all the program that you put her on, the selenium, the Z-radical, killer biotic, douching with silver, and Ruger belly and all that. Yeah. Does she need to discontinue the antifungal?
No, heck no. And, look, remember, that's a great question, by the way, Elaine. It's a great question. And it underlines a concept that we really don't talk a lot about here directly. Because, remember, you live in Montana, right? It's a pretty much of a pro-gun state. It's not the gun, it's how it's used, right? Well, look, it's not the drug, it's how it's used. There's nothing inherently wrong with drugs. Drugs will save your life when they're indicated, but the way that MDs use drug, for goodness sake, they're the leading cause of death and the leading cause of bankruptcy, because the MDs use guns the same way that serial killers use guns, the same way that idiots use guns who go into schools and shoot kids up, innocent kids. They're insane. They use drugs insanely and incorrectly. And that's the problem. I mean, for goodness sake, thank God for Novocaine, right? Thank God for morphine and antibiotics when they're necessary, and antifungals when they're necessary. Every once in a while, a drug really is very, very useful. And if it is applied and prescribed and used prudently, then it will rapidly speed up the resolution of the illness. And in this condition, it's absolutely indicated. I've got no problem with her doing that for the recommended course of treatment. Now, the thing that happens with a lot of people who are kind of holistically oriented and they're doing drugs too, or they've got a foot in both worlds, is they don't do the drug for as long as the healthcare practitioner prescribed it for, right? Because they're thinking to themselves, the doctor told me I needed it for 14 days. I can stop after day 10 or stop after day 7 because I'm doing all of this other stuff. Well, maybe, but I think maybe not. And, a short-term dose of an antifungal or an antibiotic is not a problem at all. So she should meet out the prescription to the full extent of the length to which it was prescribed without any fudging, unless, of course, she develops side effects which are, directly related to the drug. So in this case, I'm 100% behind that prescription. I think it was a smart prescription. And interestingly enough, when you take drugs, they work in the body not by fairy dust and magic. They work in the body by stimulating biochemical pathways, right? The human body is a biochemical soup, and everything runs on biochemistry inside the human body. Well, biochemistry is fed by the 90 essential nutrients. So when your metabolism is kicked into sixth gear because of the presence of an antibiotic or an antifungal or an antidepressant or whatever, your biochemistry burns through its nutrient reserves. And because you don't have enough nutrients anyway, after 2 or 3 weeks, if you're on, like a long-term pain medication or you're on a long-term antidepressant medication or you're on a long-term thyroid medication or whatever, after a high blood pressure medicine, I think would be the most famous, after a while the meds just stop working. Well, why do they stop working? Why does that? How does that happen? I mean, does your car that you've had for 2 years all of a sudden stop running on gasoline? No, it doesn't. It's the same. You've been putting the same stuff. It's the same drug. So why on earth would all of a sudden stop working? And the MDs are clueless about this, and they have no idea why this happens. They don't care. And they should care about it because it's a big, it's one of those big, gorillas in the middle of the room that nobody talks about. Well, why the heck did the drug stop working? What the heck? It's the same chemistry. What the heck? Well, it stopped working because the body ran out of the nutrients necessary to make the drug work. It's that simple. So, again, we're inside out, upside down, and completely backwards in our understanding of what's really going on here. Drugs aren't bad. It's how they're used. Sometimes they're absolutely necessary. And when a drug is necessary and you deliver it to a nutrified body, oh man, it works really, really well, really efficiently, and really effectively. So I think that she should be happy that she's on this prescription while she's on the medical nutrition at the same time, because it's like blowing air into a fire. The fire's going to get bigger and better and warmer, and everything's going to be better. So absolutely, positively, no problem with the antifungals. That was a long-winded answer to a very short question, Elaine.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Glidden. I knew we could get the answer from you, and that's what we needed. And I have a 2-second testimony. Take
10 minutes. We've got time today.
Well, it's kind of a Dr. Wallach testimony because it's about a cow. But I have a little heifer that's 1 year old, and Dr. Wallach's helping me with her. She broke her leg, and he prescribed, bone meal and the Bloomin' Minerals and all that to help facilitate her healing. And then she kind of got feeling so good that she jumped around and she kind of damaged the leg again. And so in an emergency situation of trying to beef everything up, I couldn't get a hold of Dr. Wallach for a couple of days, and I started giving her OsteoFX, and I'm giving her OsteoFX and the liquid minerals and the Bloomin' Minerals, and and gelatin all mixed into kind of a nice moist grain, kind of a slurry type situation, and she will eat that. I mean, she will eat it right up. And so I called Dr. Wallach today, and he said I probably saved her life because he said that will facilitate that to go ahead and heal properly. So she will be with us. And she's a beautiful little cow, little young heifer that's well, actually, she's pregnant now, so she won't be a heifer for long. But it looks like we're going to be able to save her thanks to longevity.
Well, you got to love it. I think you should name the new calf that's born Joel. That's what I would do if I were you.
I think you're right.
All
and if
right.
it's a girl, we'll name her Jolene.
Thanks, Elaine. You're doing a good job up there in Montana. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Dr. Glidden. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Look, this is how we do it, ladies and gentlemen. And you think I'm what's the word here? You think I'm happy about having to spread our message of health recovery through medical nutrition like this over the radio? I mean, how easy is it for the MDs to practice medicine? What do they have to do? Do they have to advertise? Do they have to have a radio show? Do they have to explain to the popular press what it is that they do? No. All they have to do is get a license, hang out a shingle, and they've got automatic patients. People just lined up at their door. They don't have to do any advertising. They don't have to do anything. They just have to show up. And, wouldn't that be nice? I've been doing this for over 20 years in private practice. Wouldn't it be nice to come to work and have, a waiting room filled with people? You didn't even have to tell anybody who you were or how to pronounce what you do or any of that. Wouldn't that be great? Well, maybe. Be easy. The MDs have got it easy. We've got it hard. We're swimming it upstream. We're going against the grain here. I'm not complaining. I'm just, because I love my job. I love this radio show. I love the Genesis Communication Network, and Ted Anderson and Nasima and Michael Zwirling and Dr. Wallach, everybody that's made it possible for me to be on the airwaves. I'm not bemoaning my fate at all. I love this radio show. And it's going to get better and better and better. You mark my words, as God is my witness. God willing, and the sun keeps shining. We're taking this baby to the moon. But, this is what we're up against, and this is what it's come to for us. You heard the testimonial today. You've heard the testimonials before. You see what we can do. And yet, we have to cajole and convince and rope and, drag people into our method. People don't just show up automatically and do whatever the heck we tell them to. We got to drag them into the light because we're swimming upstream here, ladies and gentlemen. Because God is my witness. If by some genie in the bottle magic, tomorrow morning we all woke up and there would be just as many naturopathic doctors as there are MDs. There would be just as many naturopathic medical schools as there are allopathic medical schools. There would be just as many naturopathic hospitals as there are allopathic hospitals. And the naturopathic community would get equal amounts of research money for disease as MDs do. In 5 years, the MDs would be completely out of a job. Because in a free medical market, we would win. Why? Because of testimonials like you heard today. And by the way, did she have to hire me for a private health consultation? No. Did she have to pay an insurance copay? No. Did she have to pay tens of thousands of dollars over the course of her life for medical insurance to give her access to sit down and talk to me? No. How much was her consultation? Wasn't even a consultation because, that's a technical professional term. It's two people talking on the phone. It was free. Well, I guess it wasn't free. She had to pay for the internet access. She had to pay for the phone line. So what was that? What's that come out to? 75 cents a day? For goodness sake. This is what our culture has driven us to. Now, I've been doing this with you in your living rooms for just a couple of years now, year and a half, I think. I can't even remember. Dr. Wallach's been doing it for 30. Dr. Wallach has the longest running health talk radio program in the world. In the world. He's 74 years old. He's been rowing this boat merrily upstream for his entire professional career, even before he was a naturopath. They booted him from Yerkes Primate Research Center in Atlanta, Georgia, because he discovered the cause and the cure for cystic fibrosis. He did, and they booted him. The National Institute of Health called every teaching hospital in the country up and said, hey, if you hire Wallach, we're pulling your funding. As bad as you think it is with pharmaceutical manipulation of the medical market, it's 100 times worse, probably 1,000 times worse. We're all swimming upstream here, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like the good people in the community all do. The people with the progressive, correct, true message are always swimming upstream. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know who set it up like that. You know, I gotta think that there's a method to the overall cultural madness orchestrated from on high. At least I hope that there is. But this is it. The MDs have it easy, and because they have it easy, they don't care about their therapeutics. We have it hard. Because we care about the therapeutics, we're taking it to the streets every day. And it's not just me and Wallach. It's Longevity Nation. It's Longevity worldwide. It's Longevity USA, Longevity Canada, Longevity Germany, Longevity New Zealand, Longevity Mexico, Longevity Philippines, Longevity Japan, Longevity South Korea, Longevity Australia. On and on and on and on. And now we're hoping to break into the European Union. And oh my God, I am giddy with anticipation. But I'm also pragmatically street smart. So we're going to not have the party until all of the votes are in. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. 866-582-9933. That's the number. Lines are open. 866-582-9933. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your friendly neighborhood naturopath. Let's take a look at the schedule, what's going on inside Longevity Nation tonight. July 19th, 2013 in St. George, Utah at the Abbey Inn. The Abbey Inn, 1129 South Bluff Street in St. George, Utah. Joanne Conaway, registered nurse. Topics include hormonal balance, healing your digestive tract, and the effects of GMOs on your health. How about that? That is tonight. What time does it start? 6:30 p.m. is registration. The meeting time starts at 7 p.m. That's in St. George, Utah tonight, folks. Check it out. Give Corky Man a call if you want more information. 435-467-1824. That's 435-467-1824. Canton, M.I., that's Michigan, Canton, Michigan. That is this Saturday, no, it's tomorrow. Canton, Michigan, Friday, July 19th at the Holiday Inn Express. The Holiday Inn Express on 3950 South Lotz Road in Canton, Michigan. They're going to have Laretha Ward, who's an SEMD, and Lisa Anger, who's an SEMD. Man, I should change my last name to Anger. Wouldn't that be great? Dr. Anger at your service. Ooh, I'm going to seriously consider that. That is tomorrow night. Another event, that's a longevity training. Another event in Derringer Court, Bailey, Colorado. Tomorrow night, it is at the Barron's Estate. Iggy Barron and Victoria Barron up there outside of Colorado Springs. Tomorrow night at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. in the morning. Tom and Denise Chenault and Ben Fuchs are going to be speaking at Victoria and Iggy Barron's house tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. Gotta love it. And here comes Dr. Wallach down the pike. Dr. Wallach going to be in Lexington, Kentucky, July 22nd. Dr. Wallach in Lexington, Kentucky, July 27th. That's 6:30 p.m. Lexington, Kentucky, July 22nd at 6:30 p.m. And then July 25th, how about that? Peabody, Massachusetts. From Kentucky to Massachusetts. He's going to be at the Boston Marriott Peabody on July 25th, and that's also an evening event starting at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Gotta love it, ladies and gentlemen. We are everywhere all of the time. Well, maybe not everywhere all of the time, but we are most places most of the time. Why? Because human suffering sucks. Going to go to Oklahoma now and finish it up with Arlene. Hey, Arlene, thanks for the call. You are live.
Well, hello there, Dr. Glidden.
What's happening, Arlene? Thanks for the call. How can I help?
Well, I've got a friend of mine that's 90 years old.
Woo!
And she started taking the liquid, I can't think of what you call it now.
The Beyond Tangy Tangerine?
No, it's
Osteo FX Plus?
No, it's the stuff that the Clemson University did the research on.
Yeah, the Ultimate Classic.
Yes, she started taking the Ultimate Classic. That's all she's taken. And she has shingles. She's had it for quite some time, and she's just having some real pain and was wondering what you suggest she start doing.
So she had the shingles before she started the Ultimate Classic, and she continues to have the shingles now?
Correct. And she's been on it. She's just been on it for a month.
Well, yeah, so look, Rome wasn't built in a day, and we can't expect things that have been around for months and months at a time, especially in a 90-year-old, to get better overnight. But one thing that she can do to support and strengthen her immune system is to get the colloidal silver, put it into a spray bottle, and spray the heck out of the shingles eruption wherever it is on her body. Spray the heck out of the shingles eruption on her body. And if she wants to, she can get some selenium, open the capsule up, mix the selenium powder with a little bit of the colloidal silver, and apply it as a paste topically on top of the shingles eruption. I did that with my son. I took care of it in 7 days. The secret sauce here, though, is eliminate the 10 bad foods, and don't just give her the Ultimate Classic. Give her the 90 for life, baby. Up the ante with the 90 for life. We're out of time, Arlene. I'm so sorry. Thanks for the call. I hope that information helped. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Thanks for tuning in. Now get out there and make a difference in your community.